Hi everyone, today's topic is sequence and series, and I am Ekidi sir in your very own channel Classes with Ilearn. To start with sequence and series, first we know what is a sequence. You know, a succession of numbers T1, T2, T3, Tn, formed according to some definite rule. Formed according to some definite rule is called a sequence. So T1, T2, T3, etc. up to Tn are respectively the first, second, third, up to nth terms of the sequence. As for example, 2, 6, 12, 20, 30, etc. is a sequence. Why? As Tn equals to n square plus n is followed. You can put n equals to 1, Tn becomes 2. You can put n equals to 2, T2 becomes 6 and so on, is followed. But if I write 1, 5, 4, 10, 11, 7, 17, 9, 12, this is not a sequence. Why? As we cannot find the T9, the term after this 12 and T10 terms following some definite rule. Now, sequence are of two types. One is a finite sequence and other is an infinite sequence, depending upon its number of terms. Like you know n. What is n? It is the set of natural numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. If you go on pronouncing this for your entire life, this will not be ending, So n, the set of the natural numbers, is an infinite sequence. Whereas any subset of it, say up to 2 to 20, etc., any subset of it is a finite sequence. Now series. If the series we write this fashion within second bracket with the curved bracket Tn be a sequence, then an expression in the form of T1 plus T2 plus T3 plus dot 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 is called a series. Series can also be finite or infinite. Now progressions. If the terms of the sequence are written under specific conditions, the sequence is called a progression. Now, our scope of discussion will be arithmetic progression, or we call it AP, geometric progression, or we call it GP, and harmonic progression, or we call it HP. AP or sequence. For an AP, Tn equals to A plus n minus 1 into D, where A is the first term, or we call it T1, n is the number of terms, D is the CD, means the common difference. Now, what is CD? CD is the difference between two successive terms, that is D equals to Tn minus T of n minus 1. Now, if Tn is the L term, that is the final term of a finite AP, we term it as L, last term, L. The AP from the first term is this way A, comma A plus D, A plus 2D, and goes so on up to L. While from the end in the reverse sequence, it is L, L minus D, L minus 2D, etc. up to the first term of A. Now, if the Sn will denote the sum of the n terms of an AP, where T1, that is the first term, equals to A, and CD, that is the common difference, equals to the D, then Sn is equal to, not the sign, mathematics is a kingdom of notations. So, it is a summation of TR, R is a very general term, So, from R equals to 1 to n. That is, if you place R equals to 1, this is T1, summation plus T2, plus T3, and so on up to Tn. And Sn, this way comes A plus D plus dot 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 up to the last term L. So, in the reverse fashion, Sn equals to L plus L minus D plus so on up to the first term A. Now, if you add this to, then it becomes 2 into Sn, that equals to, here it is A plus L, here it is once again A plus L, this way up to the last term A plus L, that is up to the n terms. So, the same thing added for n terms becomes n into A plus L. Or this way you can say that Sn equals to n plus 2 into a plus L. This has to be remembered, okay? Now as the last term Tn equals to a plus n minus 1 into d, so we can now write Sn equals to, we are replacing the L in the first equation. So n by 2 whole into a plus n minus 1 into d, or summarily Sn equals to n by 2 whole into 2a plus n minus 1 into d. Now we will discuss some of the properties which will be beneficial for our further course of discussion. The first one, Tn, means the nth term, that would be the sum up to n terms minus the sum up to the previous term, that is Sn minus 1. Here Sn minus 1 denotes the sum up to the n minus 1 term. Okay, this is the first property, very useful. Now second property, if T1, T2, T3 are in AP, then T1 plus minus k, that is you can add k or minus k, you can subtract k. T2 plus minus k, T3 plus minus k, dot dot dot. This will also be an AP where k is a constant. Third property, if this Tn is a sequence or an AP here, and Tn dash be two separate AP, then the sum of these two APs, Tn plus Tn dash, is also an AP. Number fourth property, if Tn is an AP, then k into Tn, that is each term is multiplied with the constant k, and Tn by k are also in AP. Okay. Now let us take some illustrative example. The first one, you know how many terms are there in the AP? AP is given 20, 25, 30, dot 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 up to 100. Okay. So this is a terminating one where the first term is 20, the n term, that is the last term, is 100 Tn, and d is equal to 5. The subsequent terms have a difference of d, you know the common difference, d is equal to 5. The question is how many terms are there, that is n equals to what? Now see, as Tn we know the formula a plus n minus 1 into d, therefore n equals to Tn minus a upon d plus 1, very easy equation you know. Therefore it is 100 minus 20 upon 5 plus 1, this is 80 by 5, that is 16, 16 plus 1 equals to 70. Now the second example is, find the AP where 7th and the 13th terms are respectively 34 and 64 given. So you see what is given? Given T7 is equal to 34 and T13 is equal to 64. Okay. Now let you consider that first term T1 equals to A and the common difference, that is CD equals to D. Then first frame the equation, you know, T7 is equal to A plus 6D and that equals to 34. Let it be your equation number 1. T13 that equals to A plus 12D and that equals to 64. Let it be equation number 2. Now already you have learned how to solve the simultaneous equations, you know, or you can see my previous video on the simultaneous equation. So you see, if you solve these two simultaneous equations and you get A equals to 4 and D equals to 5, then it is easy to frame the AP, you know, that will be, which will be 4, 9, 14, 19, 24, etc. Now coming to the third example. The question is, if m times the mth term of an AP is equal to the n times the nth term of the same AP, you know, then find the m plus nth term. Okay. Now let you consider the first term T1 equals to A, CD equals to D, that is the common difference equals to D. Then by your given problem, what is given? N into Tn is equal to m into Tn. That is n into what is Tn, A plus n minus 1 into D, and m into what is Tm, A plus n minus 1 into D. Then it's a simple, you know, simplification. You bring this all A on the subject side, that is m minus n into A, that equals to take D common, transpose it to the right side, it is m minus n into n minus m square minus n square. Now divide both sides with m minus n. You can divide this because m not equals to n, they are to some separate terms, you know. Therefore it becomes A equals to D whole into 1 minus m plus n. Now what is asked? You are asked to find out the m plus n term, that is T m plus n. And that becomes A plus m plus n in m plus n minus 1 whole into D. Okay, and this is your minus A. Therefore, it becomes A minus A, and similarly it becomes 0. That is, the m plus nth term of the AP is 0. Now let us take another two examples. The example number 4, we are using the properties. If A, B, C are in AP, then you have to prove that B plus C, C plus A and A plus B are also in AP. Now, we are solving. A, B, C are in AP. Therefore, we can say that A minus A plus B plus C, B minus A plus B plus C, and C minus A plus B plus C. We are subtracting the same quantity A plus B plus C from all the terms. So that will be also in AP by the property, That is, if you subtract it, it comes minus of B plus C, minus of A plus C, and minus of A plus B are in AP. Or you multiply all the terms with minus 1. So this becomes B plus C, C plus A, and A plus B. That will be also in AP. So easy. Then the last example of today's session, If ABC are in AP, prove that 1 by BC, 1 by C, and 1 by AB are also in AP. This is a question that was set in the entrance examination of the Roorkee in the year of 1975. Now friends, that Roorkee is on IIT this day. Okay. Now let us solve it. A, B, C are in AP. So why didn't you divide each of the terms with ABC? So A by ABC, B by ABC, and C by ABC are also in AP. Now minimize it. So this becomes 1 by BC, 1 by CA, and 1 by AP are also in AP. The sum is done. So easier sum, Now friends, before I end my session, I will be requesting your favor and pleasure that if you love these sessions of the videos in the channel of Classes with Ireland, I will be requesting you to subscribe or to share or to like my channel, and that will just give me the energy and boost to continue with this, much more videos to come on and to upload in this favorite channel. It is very much your own channel, I learn, that is Classes with Ireland. Thanking you all.